Okay, hey everybody, it is 2017. So we're going to take you on our 2017 journey around our homestead. We try to make a walkthrough very often actually, but especially in the month of January so that we can kind of get a good feel for the things that we want to get accomplished this year and to look back on what we got accomplished in the previous year. So we're gonna take a little stroll and we're gonna invite you to go along with us today. Here is Casanova. He's our boar Nubian that we just added this year. Hopefully, with any good luck, these guys are bred. We will have babies in the spring. We'll be our first baby goats on the homestead. We are super excited. Can't wait for that. Here's our other nanny goat. Her name's Sweetie. She's up there like Queen of the Hill.
She really could.
She's also pregnant with Casanova.
Yeah, usually roosters are coming to get part of it.
Here's our
They're for sale, by the way.
Roman crew. They are for sale. Hatched out some chicks this spring. And these guys are what's left. He's a Rhode Island Red and got some Brahma in him. And then he's an Easter egger with some Brahma in him. And a Dominicker over there. Not a Dominicker,
Barred rock.
but a Barred Rock. And they're just roaming the yard, acting like they own the place. We added this little goat playground just to have them something to do this year. And they really have enjoyed it. We've enjoyed watching them. We're going to add to that.
Got some pallets up here. We're going to do something with them. Put some nice little shed. Got these pallets right here. We're going to do something with them. Got a nice little shed right here. In the process. Got some more over here. You can get these from they do cabinets and they do countertops, and they give us pallets for free. So find somebody around you that does cabinets and countertops, go ask them. They'll probably give you the pallets. We'll show you what we do with it later.
Make all kind of projects. Just happened to throw that in there one day when we were out here with some friends. So we're gonna add to that plan. Spur of the moment design. And fix a broken fence that the horse decided to kick.
Okay.
They always make sure that we have plenty to do.
I've got a
And
squirrel table
a picnic table
for the squirrels.
for the squirrels. See? They have been out here eating black walnuts. They've enjoyed the picnic table. And some leftovers from our bow shoot. This is our little nature trail slash keep all of our tractor supply.
Yes, you might want to know this. These are squirrel tracks. That's what we're at. Let me clean that up.
Some tractor equipment we have to find a better location for. This is our nature trail. Come down through here with the horses. Especially when we're letting little kids ride. It's a little short trail for them. And little shooting lanes. We hold bow shoots here. This is some of the area we want to leave natural as much as possible, but do some planting just to improve your experience when you're coming down through here. A little bit of cleanup. We had some.
My ideas are throw the goats out here so they can eat all this underbrush.
They do a good job cleaning up. They will eat all of this underbrush and clean it up right nicely. All this stuff that takes you forever to clean up by yourself. I don't know if you can see that on the video. We've had quite an eventful year. For some reason, we've had a lot of tree fall this year.
Yeah, drought.
A terrible drought.
The end of June.
Another one of our bow shoot targets.
We had a drought from the end of June to probably the 1st of December before we seen any rain. So you can see the trees if you go through the lough, they're falling because there was no rain whatsoever. But we got plenty of firewood this year. You can see.
No shortage, for sure.
That's part of being on the homestead. You use what you have. The trees come down, you cut them for firewood. Can't use it all, sell it. Put it back into your land, in your homestead.
This is the end of our property. Fortunate enough to have all of our family on different tracks. So this is the back side of all of our properties combined. We're on one end. My parents are next to us. My oldest son is next to them. And then my daughter is just below him. And this is the property that she's on. This is a very end run. We are very fortunate to have a river access. It runs near about all the way around a complete border of our property. This little access here that we just videoed, we can actually get down with the horses. They can drink, and we bring the goats to forage out here. Our goats are tame. We can take them for a walk. They like to come out here and roam around, and when they get their bellies full, they go home. They let us know. that they're done. And all of our kids like coming out here with John. Got someone shooting on the other side of the river. Part of being in the country.
Just like us, our neighbors are well armed, and we practice our Second Amendment often.
Got a little bit of cleanup from the debris. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of cleanup. Yeah, should be fun. And put a little bit of flowers out through here.
That's some of the things on our list for 17 this year. Get the downfall down. Clean up underbrush. But that's not priority.
No, this is just want to out here. It's perfectly fine like it is. It's a nice little nature trail. All the kids like riding all their stuff. They like riding the horses out through here. They like riding the golf cart. My parents have a golf cart. They like walking out through here. They like taking the goats for a walk with us. And one of these days, we're going to add a pergola or pavilion or gazebo of some sorts at the very end. A little place to camp. They'll enjoy that. Our 3 kids are grown, but they're starting to have kids of their own, and they love coming to Nana and Papa's and enjoying all the animals. Some stuff on our to-do list. It's one thing we have found about Homestead, and you need all this stuff, and it seems to accumulate in some crazy places. Another thing we found that we're not the only ones who have a lot of partially done projects. I think that's because on the homestead you see something that really needs done, you have to jump over to it and you get it okay, and something else of more importance comes up,
A milk station.
and you jump over to it. So you have to kind of play with the weather and play with what's going on and what's most important, and then you just come back to other things later. This, it looks like a porch in the middle of the nowhere, is actually a 2-in-1. We have horses, and we have people come and ride for therapy. My husband had a massive stroke 7 years ago now, and the horses helped him get his mobility back through therapy. So we decided to add this. I'll get to the other side so you can see it. Got some goats throwing some things around. But this is our wheelchair accessible riding stand. So the wheelchairs come up. See if you can see. They come up this ramp here, and then because it's so high, I can't really tell on the video how high it is, but it's approximately about 3 foot high, about waist high. You can easily maneuver people that are in the wheelchair or handicap, or even some older people that have come and rode with us that wouldn't be able to otherwise get up on a horse. They come up here. The horses are here. They come in between here, and you just assist them up on the horse's back, And then as you get prepared, you can just walk right on through. You know, you have to train your horses a little bit to do this because horses don't like tight spaces. But you just come up the steps. You got assistance on both sides. It makes for safe loading. And for us people that are just getting a little lazier in our older age, it helps get up there easy. The trick is just not getting down while you're riding. So we already had this established before we had our goats. We got a little milk goat and we needed a milking station. So we decided, hey, we already have this. You see the goats kind of through the pickets here. We already have this. There's right here. Let's just make it an addition. So we took one of the pickets out. Our goat goes in here. She puts her head in, just like this. And it closes. Let's see, I don't know if you can see that. We'll have to show you that on another video, but
She puts in here.
Puts her head in. Sorry, he's telling me I got the wrong side here. She puts her head in here. Slide the picket over. And what's nice about this is because this is waist high, you're milking right here. No bending over, nothing like that. It has worked perfect. They run right up the ramp. We have 2 milking stations. They come right up in here.
Got one on this side.
And it makes this a 2-in-1.
And you drill your holes
Let's see over
and run a rod through it. And the goat can't push it.
I don't know if you can hear.
See that?
See this pin here pulls out. It's been moist out, so it's kind of tight, but pulls out. You slide the picket back and forth.
Goat puts his head in there.
Gotta talk up. And go. She puts her head in here, and when you slide it over, I don't know if you can see that. We'll have to do it with a goat in here because it's really hard to see on the video. And she gets her head gets locked in here. And right here, there's a feeder. There's a feeder right here. Let me grab it. Her feeder goes right here, and she eats while you milk her. It's also a good place to do their hooves and things like that, so that they are content while you're doing it. So, if you've been watching any Homestead videos, homesteaders like to have multi-purpose tools, and that's definitely a multi-purpose tool. It's actually a 3-in-1 because all of our kids love climbing on it. They think we put a playground out here for them. They love going up on it and running their bicycles and things like that. Not their bicycles, but their little tractors. This is our wagon that is on our to-do list this year. So we've been trying to keep it covered with a tarp, but tarps do not like to stay on it. So we need to attach to this building here and add a lean-to. We have the wood here, we have the tin here. Add a lean-to to cover this. A little halflinger pulls the cart. She does a wonderful job. She loves to do it. This is our tack barn. So all of our horse stuff stays out here, so it's nice and handy. I don't know if you can see in there. Our little granddaughter just added a pony this year, her tractor. It also needs a lean-to over it, off the barn. It's the back side of our coop. We're going to be moving all of this year. This will be moved up the hill. We're going to put in a playground area for all the kids that visit up the hill there. So we're going to be relocating that. Extending the coop out. The coop stops here. Extending the coop out another 10 foot so that we can separate all of our breeds. So this is, as you can see, where we hide everything. But this is going to all have to change. We have to get rid of some stuff. We're going to bring in a dump truck. What are those things called? Dumpster. Get rid of some stuff. Change some things up in here where the wood splitter is sitting now, we're going to add a rabbitry because our rabbits have actually made us a good bit of money. So we're going to add to that, build them their own little spot. And here, this little doghouse here actually opens up to the coop, and they like going in there. But we are going to change all of that come springtime. We'll have to show another video. Here's our granddaughter's little pony. She has her own little shelter. She's a little bitty thing. So she has her own little pen. And the kids just love her being right here. And we just scared her. John adjusted something and spooked her. This is another addition that we've just put in this year. And it is steps down to the river. This has been a wonderful addition. My parents, who haven't been down to the river in years, were able to go down. Our little kids were, you know, they're a little bit more active than we are, so they were having to climb up the bank to go down to the river and swim. And now we have these wonderful steps that John and our friend Chaz put in. Thank goodness, because as you can see, they're metal and they're heavy. So this little thing laying across here, see if you can see, get the video back here. This limb that's laying across here will actually be the top. We're going to notch out up here and add it across the top and add a little sign just for fun because the kids love it. The swimming hole. And here's Oscar, who makes sure that I'm staying on track. He follows me everywhere. Well, I should say he goes everywhere. He tries to stay in front, guessing where I'm going. This is out. I'm just kind of get you orientated. This is our swimming hole. It is directly across from the front of our house. So it comes straight over here. And we've had a lot of rains, so it's all muddy, but normally it's beautiful and clear. The kids all enjoy it. They can get up on the rock and get up on the swing, which you can't really see from here. They have a ball. All the kids from the community like coming, and from the church. We'll go into the courtyard in a minute. And our food ministry, who's parked currently in our yard. Hopefully going to change in the year 2017 and have its own place to go, but right now that's where it is. I have a boat, my son's motorcycle. They think that parents' house is the place to park everything. Until they need it. We're like a free storage. And this is our courtyard. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. So here's the house. I have an upper terrace. And then it drops down about 3 to 4 foot. And this is our courtyard. And the coop. You can see the coop on the back side. And then here over to right around there on the other side of the wall is where the swimming hole was. And this is what we call the kids' play yard because they love coming in here. They know that when they're playing ball, they're supposed to bring their stuff here. All the visiting kids know to bring their toys in here. They're supposed to bring them out into the courtyard and play in the courtyard and then put them up again And normally we have pretty good luck with that. When me and John first started the courtyard, my parents thought we were crazy. They didn't know it. They didn't understand at all what we were doing. But now they bring everybody down the hill to show. So they love it. And this is John's favorite tree in the whole yard. This is my daughter's catawba worm tree. And about the time it starts looking decent with its leaves coming out, the worms come up and they eat the leaves. And the worms are wonderful for fishing, but they absolutely drive John mad, which we all laugh about year after year. This is going to be our place we're going to put our swimming pool, we think, eventually. Right now it's our holding grounds. I don't know if you can see, for our vintage brick. And the kids' toys that are, because it's wintertime, strode all kind of everywhere. We got to do something about that this year. Get rid of some of the things that they've broken over the year. And some of the things they just don't play with. But they do try to make them, they do a fairly decent job of bringing stuff back to that area. So we just need to fix a little nicer spot for that. This is our coop, and it brings us back around to our fire pit, which everybody loves. This is one of our fruit trees here. It's our plum tree. And down through here, which looks like, right now, it just looks like a crazy mess. But this is actually thornless blackberries down through here. And I think we're going to add some lettuces and things like that, so that it kind of looks like a ground cover, but it's going to be an edible ground cover. Okay, so here is our coop. I'm going to back out a little bit. And this is where we keep our feeds in here. And the water, of course. And this is our current coop. Now, up until now, we've just kept one breed of chickens. We've had golden lace Wyandottes, and we've had them for about 5 or 6 years now. But they do not like to lay in the winter time. They're beautiful birds. They're good for showing. But they are not really as homestead friendly as we would like them to be. Even though they're still one of John's favorites, because they're absolutely gorgeous. But we still want to add some breeds this year. So what we are doing, our coop has been just an open coop. We put the plastic up this year to see if breaking the cold wind, we're in Georgia, so we don't have cold winters, but just seeing if some of the windbreak might get our Wyandottes laying back through the winter. It has not worked. Our buffs have laid, we just added buffs this year, and our buffs have laid right on. Our barred rock has laid somewhat. I haven't seen her lay in the last couple of weeks. And our Wyandottes we've not seen in the nest box at all. So what we've decided to do this year is add to our Homestead flock. And John is very particular about having different breeds on the farm. So what we're going to do is have different breeds, but we want to fix this open coop now that's completely open. We want to fix it so that all the breeds stay together, and we are assured that we keep pure breed chickens. That way, if we want to resell them, which a lot of people don't, it doesn't matter, but to him it matters to have the pure breed. So what this coop has in it is support system. It has, at 5 foot, has a support here, it has a support here, and it has a support here. and then at the end of the coop, which makes approximately 5-foot segments of this coop now. That's there's 4 or 5-foot segments. We're going to add down to the end here. All this playground equipment here is going to go into an area that we're going to fence in for the kids. So it's going to be relocated. We're going to add 2 more 5-foot sections here on the end. That way we can have, see, our chicken, that's what we call chicken therapy. So we have a bench here that sits here so we can see the chickens. We're going to extend this out. All of this stuff here is going to be cleaned up this spring. The toys are going to be added to a hillside playground over here. It's going to be fenced in so that when we have visiting kids, we can put them in a place, especially when we have the horses out. It's very important to have the kids in a stationary place where we can keep an eye on them when we have the horses out, because they love to run up to our horses. So it just makes it easier to keep an eye on everyone. So each of these segments will be individual breeds. It'll be completely screened in inside. Our coop is closed in up top, so we have a lot of predators because we are on the river. We are on open land to the back side, so we have a lot of wildlife. And back here, what's now, get back here, now is where we are storing our wood. These are going to be completely boxed in nest boxes where you can walk back here and collect eggs, and it'll give the chickens a little bit of shelter. So here will be nest boxes come the spring. All of this wood will be relocated to the very end nesting box, to the very end coop segment. And right in here we will be adding a whole little building for our rabbits. Right now we have 5 New Zealand does, 1 New Zealand buck, and we have 2 lion head minis with 1 dwarf buck that we breed them with. And we are able to sell them very nicely, so they actually pay for the feed for everybody. So that works out nice. Other than the horses who are on a field, they pay for everybody's feed. The rabbits do, and we're trying to add to our chickens and get them actually self-sustaining this year. This area here is our peach trees, which we may be thinking about relocating. This area here is where we're putting in our raised beds. You can see the outline of them already started. We got 1 layer already done. They'll be built up. Here's one that we're working on, but we had to stop due to weather conditions. Back in the dead of summer, it was so hot and so dry here that the mortar was not wanting to stay on the bricks. These are 1800 stock building bricks that we were able to acquire. We're putting in a self-watering system, which you can see the black pipe here in the middle. These black pipes work as a water reservoir, and it'll keep water inside here, and the soil level will be actually up here. So it just helps reduce your watering load. We're going to see how that works. But all of these will be built up. There's 4 beds, uniform shape. And as it turns out, it ended up being JJ. That's just one of those fluke things for John Jackson. He liked it a lot. It just ended up being that way. But these will all be raised beds. Our bees are currently here, but they're probably going to be relocated. We're thinking to put in a greenhouse. We have this space that's just on the other side of the garden. We've never dug it out. We just left it as a terrace, but we're thinking to dig this out, install a greenhouse here. It'll back up to our house on this spot, and you can see that it actually terraces again to the back. Our house is, I don't know if anybody has caught this or not, but our house actually is half submerged in the ground. That absolutely does a wonderful job at keeping our house stabilized. It stays cool in the summer months and it stays fairly warm in the winter months, and that reduces our heating bill and our cooling bill so much. It makes such a big difference. So on the back side we have another flat terrace. That we want to plant. We want to put in a wall down through here, put in a retaining wall here, have down through here, probably have like some blackberries, maybe some blueberries, some smaller fruiting trees down through there. And then up here on the very top terrace, which is open, we have someone living on the property, even though it's our property. They live on up the hill. But establish this junk pile here is not ours, and it will be being moved. But actually adding a orchard up the hill here, because it's one of the pieces of this property that is in full exposure to the sun. We don't want to take up any of the yard that's already exposed. We already have in gardens, and we have in places where we can entertain. We want to at some point get our property up to a standard where we can have our property as a venue. Although we have a ways to go for that and get everything done. Still in their future plans to have a little bit of revenue. In this place, right here, I don't know if you can see it, kind of marked off. Our chairs are sitting there, we're looking over the pool. Visionaries. This area will eventually become a pergola that will overlook the pool area. And then here, on the side of this pergola, well, we're going to be adding, that's why this area is not finished, because we have to decide exactly how we want to finish this off. But we're going to be adding a outdoor kitchen out here, because I cook outside usually spring, summer, and fall, and only cook inside when it's feasible to warm the house up in the wintertime. So we're looking forward to that. So that's where we're at in 2017. It's January. Haven't been outside to clean up very much. Need to get some things put away. Added the Christmas tree this year in the garden. We're looking forward to getting the garden finished and having that as a feature. So we'll see how 2017 goes. Happy New Year.